Hey guys, it's Zach from the Chronovision channel, and in this video I'm going to give you some tips and tricks for Marvel Rivals. Now the first tip that I have for you guys is to learn and read about character abilities, especially the characters that you're interested in playing. So in order to do this, you want to come to the hero section, and then you can click on any of these heroes in the section, and then you'll see that if we go to abilities, we can see a explanation of the abilities as well as video examples of how these abilities work. And there'll also be a cool combo, which is a suggested combo that it'll show you that you can complete with that specific character. And this is really important to learn because you want to head into matches at least knowing something about your characters instead of testing them live in game, because sometimes it can be a bit confusing and it'll obviously lead to you dying quite a bit. Now the next tip that I have for you is to learn at least one of each character in the different classes. So there are going to be 3 classes, being the Vanguard, Duelist, and Strategist. Now I recommend learning at least one character in each of those so that when you get into a game where, for example, you don't have a healer and you need one, you can at least step up and do that role. This is important because this game is based on team composition, and especially if you want to take it seriously and you play in ranked or you play in the tournament mode, then you'll want to be able to play a character if the character is needed for the team in order to win. Now, if we go based on these different roles, we have Vanguard, which is all of these characters right over here. And these are essentially your tanks. They have a lot of health and they soak up a lot of the damage. Then we have Duelists. These are your DPS characters. These guys deal a decent amount of damage, but are mainly used for attacking the front lines or even flanking like a Spider-Man. Then we have our Strategists. These are the healers slash supports, and these guys are going to be helping the team and applying buffs or heals to the team. Now the next tip that I have for you guys under the hero section is team ups. Now this is when you take 2 or 3 characters and you put them on the same team. So essentially you're going to choose 3 or 2 of the characters that are shown here under the team up section, and it'll give them a buff. So if we take Gamma Charge, for example, it's going to have the Hulk, Doctor Strange, and Iron Man, and it's going to give them a bonus. So if we go to the team up ability, now you'll see that there's going to be this little symbol beneath the Hulk, and that is because he is providing the bonus. So the passive is going to be Gamma Boost provided by Hulk, which is going to give Iron Man and Doctor Strange gamma radiation. When Doctor Strange uses his Maelstrom of Madness, he unleashes excess gamma energy, and when Iron Man uses his armor overdrive, he will initiate a gamma upgrade. So Hulk is providing the bonuses to Doctor Strange and Iron Man. So I recommend learning these team ups as it can make your team a lot stronger, and it will just provide those bonuses that will help out quite a bit in the long run of the match. Now the next tip that I have for you is to try and practice and understand your characters and the game modes. Now the way you can do this is if you go to play, you click on the change mode and you go to the top and you select practice. Here you can actually practice with heroes, and you can actually practice the game modes as well as with explanations of how they work. For the new players coming to this game, I recommend checking out this section so that you have some clue of how the game modes work and how some of the heroes work in actual practice. Now the next tip that I have for you is under season and its missions. You want to complete these daily missions, challenges, and your seasonal event challenges so that you can get some units and some chrono tokens. These units are used to buy cosmetics in the store, and the chrono tokens are used to buy the items in the battle pass. Now the next tip that I have for you is to learn the maps such as the choke points, the advantage points, and where structures can be broken. Now in order to see which structures are breakable, all you need to do is hold B on your keyboard and it's going to enable Chronovision. Now anything that lights up yellow is pretty much destructible, as you can see right over here, and this is important as it can open up new paths and break old ones so that you can go somewhere else. As you can see, I just broke this and I entered into a new path, and we can do the same for all these other yellow walls, which is pretty cool. Another important thing is that with the Chronovision, you can also break down bridges and specific things like that where people are taking advantage of, and it'll prevent obviously the enemies from getting that advantage point or staying up on those tall places that you can't reach. Now the next step that I have for you is to learn where the health packs are. This is important as you might not always have a healer nearby, or you might not have a healer at all. So it can be super clutch knowing where these health locations are so that you can survive and help your team win the game. Another thing is most characters' primary weapons are also fully automatic, and what I mean by this is you just need to hold down your click in order for the attack to happen. So I recommend doing that instead of tapping, as tapping can lose you out on some DPS. So just make sure to test that out with the character you're using and find out. I also recommend destroying gadgets or enemy equipment such as walls, because this can actually cause more trouble for you than the actual enemy. For example, with Rocket's gadget, he can create a spawn point right next to wherever his device lands, and that can cause a lot of trouble for you if you don't take it out as soon as possible. Now, the next step that I have for you is the display attack range. This is important as it creates a yellow circle around the enemy, showing you how far you are for your attack to actually hit. So you can only do this on specific characters, mainly melee characters. So if we take a look at Iron Fist, you'll see that when we get close enough to Hulk, there'll be a yellow circle, but if we move away, there won't be one. So when we get into that range, that means our melee attack will automatically hit within that range. So if we're back here, our melee won't hit, but as soon as we get that yellow circle, it will then launch us into him and deal our melee attack. So it's important to have that setting on if you want to know how far you are to actually hitting your attack instead of just spamming your attack. Now, the next step that I have for you is to jump while firing. This is important because you don't really get crouching in this game, so being able to jump and fire at the same time allows you to be lethal while also avoiding being headshot. And it's also the fact that you don't lose any accuracy while jumping. But I don't recommend spamming it, as it will obviously become more difficult if the enemy is moving around quite a bit themselves. Now, the next step that I have for you is to complete your achievements. So in order to get to your achievements, you want to go to your icon in the top right and go to achievements, and you'll see a bunch of achievements here that you can complete. Now, if you complete them, you can actually get chrono tokens or even units for some of them. Now, this is important because these currencies can actually allow you to buy cosmetics as well as items in the battle pass. But yeah guys, it's been Zach from the Chronovision channel. I hope this video helped you out, and thanks for watching.